I want to welcome you all to the 17th anniversary of the Society for Orphaned Armenian Relief. I have to say, it is my absolute honor and privilege to be up here speaking on behalf of our founder, George Jacobian. Let me start by thanking our major benefactors, Lou and Yolanda Mazzola, and the Harold and Josephine Gulamarian Armenian Orphan Fund. Thank you to all of our foundational supporters, our sponsors, thank you so much, our executive board, our chapters, our juniors, and especially everybody that is here tonight. We appreciate you all so much. Thank you. I also want to say a very special thank you to our staff. I'm going to name them. Kharipsime Muradian, Hasnik Tiarian, Manana Mananyan, Ovsana Mananyan, Susan Burdett, and Kim Yakubian. This would not be possible without all of you, so thank you. In 2005, George had a vision, and 17 years later, here we are. This was supposed to be our 15-year anniversary, but COVID got in the way. But I feel so blessed and so thankful that we're here today celebrating what would have been 15 years, our 17-year anniversary. SOAR is represented by 138 chapters, 2 college groups, 5 junior groups, and more than 600 volunteers worldwide. SOAR supports 34 institutions in 4 countries, and that is really something to be proud of. Over the past 17 years, SOAR's reach has expanded considerably. In 2006, SOAR's distributions were $60,000. Today, we distribute over $1 million annually. There is no other organization like SOAR. I'm going to say that again. There is no other organization like SOAR. Very We work across the entire child protection system in Armenia, and that work includes helping children, young adults, and families with full transparency. 100% full transparency. Every dime, every penny we bring in goes to the orphans. We have very little overhead. And again, that is something to be so proud of. I have been fortunate enough to be a part of SOAR for the last 15 years. And I will say, it is an integral part of my life. I don't remember a time when SOAR wasn't a part of my life. I would like to take a moment to say a few words about our leader, George Yakubian. Unfortunately, George was not able to be with us tonight due to some health issues. I can honestly say, George is quite possibly one of the most selfless individuals I have ever known. He truly amazes me with what he accomplishes on a daily basis. He started this in 2005, and look where it is today. He pours his heart and soul into everything he does, and he is the reason that we can all gather here tonight. So what I would like to do is, because I know, George, at some point you are going to watch this video, I would like to make a toast to you. So if everybody can raise their glasses in a toast to George Yakubian. We want to thank you for everything you do, and especially for who you are. And I'm going to toast this table over here with his mother, his sister, his family, his girlfriend. Thank you. Thank you for George, because we love him and we appreciate him. So here's to you, George. You are our incredible leader. At this time, we have a couple of video tributes that we would like to share with you. The first is from the Armenian Evangelical Boarding School in Anjar, Lebanon. This is the table that I was talking about earlier. You know, if you would like to sponsor an orphan from this boarding school, we would really appreciate it. Please take the time to look at this short video.
Thousands of lives have changed through years in the Armenian Evangelical Boarding School of Anjar, where children and teenagers are given the chance to meet Jesus Christ and enjoy the provided care. 76 children of the boarding school returned to Anjar through different phases, respecting the precautions to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The laughter and the voices of our children filled the buildings as they returned to their boarding home and joined their caregivers. As we face different challenges and live the consequences of the economic crisis, we thank God for His faithfulness in our boarding ministry and in the lives of our precious children. We were able to provide high-quality care. Besides their basic needs, the boarders had several activities to nurture their physical well-being as well as their social skills. Our boarders joined their online classes through several ways using the available resources. During worships, they praised God, prayed, and learned about His amazing creation. They applied what they learned in their daily lives in practical ways. As prayers go up, blessings come down. The families of the boarders in Beirut received support and different aids through several phases. God is faithful. As we continue this beautiful ministry entrusted to us, we look up to our amazing God and say,
Our second video is from Congresswoman Jackie Spear.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Jackie Spear, representing California's 14th Congressional District. As a proud Armenian American, my mother's maiden name was Conchilian, and co-chair of the Congressional Armenian Caucus, I am thrilled to wish the Society for Orphaned Armenian Relief a happy 17th anniversary. The vital work you do on behalf of Armenian children and disabled adults is extraordinary. In particular, I want to acknowledge the tireless work of George Jacobian, Louis and Yolanda Mazzola, with the Harold and Josephine Gulamarian Armenian Orphan Fund, Hurip Sima Muradian, as well as countless volunteers who contribute their time and energy to this important cause. I also want to extend a warm greeting to Mother Arusiak Sajanyan, who I understand is celebrating a birthday in just a few days. This year alone, all of your efforts have yielded incredible results, including renovations at the Yerevan Children's Home, renovations at the Our Lady of Armenia Center in Gyumri, the grand opening of the new Martuni Center, equipment and supplies to support ArtSock's family, and tuition sponsorship for the residents at the Our Lady of Armenia Annie Bezikian Center, not to mention supplies of diapers, clothes, and other necessities. As co-chair of the Armenian Caucus, I was proud to lead the charge last year to include $45 million in humanitarian assistance for Armenia in the annual appropriations process, as well as $2 million for demining efforts to protect civilians and especially children in ArtSock. But we can and must do more. I will push for an even larger amount this year to assist Armenia's development efforts. I had the honor of visiting the homeland 3 times, most recently to both Armenia and ArtSock, where I was fortunate to witness firsthand the warmth and resilience of our Armenian people. While there, I visited an Armenian orphanage and met this sweet girl. I so wanted to adopt her. We need to recognize that institutionalizing the developmentally disabled is not the way forward. Here in the United States, we make an effort to ensure that all children receive the same opportunities regardless of disabilities. SOAR has made so much progress in this regard, and I hope you will continue to do so. This little girl represents Armenia's future and is a poignant reminder for the necessity of SOAR's work. So another congratulations to SOAR on 17 remarkable years. May you continue to achieve your mission to provide the educational and social opportunities for these Armenian children and help them to thrive.
I would like to take this time to welcome Mother Alusia Sajonian to say just a few words.
Ողջույն ձեր բոլորին, բարի եկած եք և չեք կարող երևակայել, որքան ես այսօր հբարտ զգամ, որ մաս կկազմեմ այս հրաշալի գազམ་ագիտության։ Հայերենով կսկսեմ, որովհետև Ջորջին առաջին միտքը եղավ Հայաստանի երեխաներով օգնել։ Եվ ես շատ հպարտ եմ նաև Հայաստանի աշխատակիցներուն, որոնք Ջորջի նման իրենք հիշեցել են կաշխատին, որպեսզի հասնեն յուրաքանչյուր որոշ երեխայի, յուրաքանչյուր գալիք ունեցող չափահասին և նաև յուրաքանչյուր ընտանիքին։ Մենք դժվար օրեր դարձրինք, բայց ես միշտ հավատացած եմ և կհավատամ, որ հայը իր խելքով, իր կամքով, իր հարաբերությամբ կարող է միշտ մոխիներեն դուրս գալ։ Գորգին հաջողին, գորգին ուրիշին օգնել և բոլորդ որ հոստ ներկա եք, տեսնել յուրաքանչյուրը իր կյանքին աղնար մկրնաներել, մեծ հայրերում, մեծ մայրերում, որոնք զոհ ասին մեծ եղերնին և այսօր որքան հաջողան են։ Մեր սպիրտը շատ հաջող է։ Ժամանակն է, որ նույն հաջողություն ունենա նաև մեր հայրենիքը, հակառակ, որ շատ դժվար օրեր դարձրին։ Ես չեմ անդրադառնալու Արցախի պատերազմին, չեմ անդրադառնալու այն քաղաքականներուն, որ մեր քույրերը իրենց մոտ բահեցին մի քանի ամիս և մինչև այսօր դադարին մենք ունենք քաղաքականներ Արցախեն, որոնք ամբողջ հոգը մեր քույրերուն ուսերում վրան է։ Չեմ կնան մոնալ, անշուշտ, բայց շատ դիտախնդրեմ ձեր բոլորեն, որքան ակցավալի է այս պատերազմը, բայց միշտ հարաճ նայեք և ձեզներ յուրաքանչյուրը կսեինք դերեն, ես ինչպես կրնամ օգնել։ միակ այդ հարցը դրի։ Միևնույն ժամանակ անշուշտ հետևելով, որ ձեր օգնությունը դեղացի։ Այդ կետը շատ կարևոր է։ Պետք է այնպիսի զարմանալիություններով օգնել, որ ապահով է, թե ձեր օգնությունը դեղացի։ Եվ ես ուրախ եմ ասելու, թե SOAR գազագերբությունը այդ բացառիկ գազագերբություններն է, դերևս միանը, որ յուրաքանչյուր ձեր օգնության մասնիկից ճիշտ իր դեղը կհասնի։ Ես սա գիտեմ, որովհետև մեր Դրամար Հայաստանի Գետրոնի բոլոր աշխատանքը որոշ չափով կապված է SOAR-ի օգնությունները։ Եվ այդ համար ես շնորհակալ եմ ձեզի, որ եկած եք այսօր քաջալերելու այս բացառիկ կազմակերպությունը։ A man is as great as the dream he dreams, as great as the values he cherishes, as the thoughts he thinks, as the truth he speaks, and the life he lives. I was with George when he started to dream about this organization. And I feel very proud to have him be part of this organization. His dream today is reality. And I know for the coming years, he is going to accomplish many more dreams that he has. You know, many humanitarian organizations help. Very few think about changing systems. When I first went to Armenia in 1990, and I saw the orphans from the earthquake, I visited some orphanages, and I was shocked to see the adults who are working there, what they taught about these orphans. The mentality in Armenia was orphans are not intelligent. Orphans cannot accomplish something. Orphans, they're secondary people. And I know for a fact myself that when our orphans became of an age to marry, you know who came to ask for their hands? Someone who was like, you know, when he entered the orphanage, he couldn't even walk. His mother said, I was told that my son can marry only an orphan. He couldn't see well. He couldn't walk well. He had no job. He was dependent completely on his parents. And my answer was, I'm sorry to say, but we don't have a girl for your son. SOAR has changed this mentality. We have changed this mentality. Our orphanage was the first orphanage in Armenia that had orphans attending medical school. And even the ministry was shocked that our orphans were attending medical school. They said, how come? What did you do? I said, nothing. They're bright children. We just helped them to be able to pass the entrance exam. They didn't believe me. They said, you must have paid some money there. I said, I will pay money for the child to, attend medical school. Of course, I got many things later on, but this idea, this mentality, this is what SOAR is trying to do. What is really George is trying to do. Because we usually share many ideas together with George through emails. And I communicate with many people, but George is the only person that I can write to him at any time, and sometimes I have to look at my watch and say, oh, it is 2 a.m. in Philly. I get the answer at 2 a.m. in Philly. That is George. For the past 17 years. That's why I have the greatest respect for George and also for his capability of having a beautiful group that shares his dreams, his ideas, his values. So, George, you're not here, but I wish you were here, because I really wanted him to hear this, because he has done great things in Armenia, in Lebanon. Wherever there is an Armenian orphan, that's where George is, that's where SOAR is. When you think of SOAR, think of George. Lately, he said, your birthday is coming soon, isn't it? I said, George, forget about my birthday. My birthday is Monday, not today. I don't want to know. I said, just forget it. That's all secondary. Well, he said, after all, you have been with me all these years. I said, yes. And I will be with you as long as I live. So don't worry about that. So my appreciation goes also to all the executive members, the executive board members, and I was pleasantly surprised on Thursday, to see the vibrant voice of Kimi. Kimi, I was so proud of you the way she was running many activities of the day. So, and of course with Kimi, Susan, thank you, Rafi. I will never forget you, because he stands next to George. She's always next to George. If George can't do something, then it would have to be wrong. So thank you. I wouldn't want to name all of them. Armenia has a beautiful, beautiful group. Their director is out here, Rixemet from Juni, and I'm very proud of him too. What I want you to say is, if today the Our Lady of Armenia is flourishing, it's because of SOAR. This is the only organization. We get help from many, many people and many, many organizations to run our activities in Armenia. SOAR singles out with helping without being solicited. This for a person who constantly has to write letters of request, projects, etc. It is really so beautiful to have someone who says, Kurarusia, give me a list of your needs. Whether it is renovation, it's appliance, it's a sponsorship, give me more names. And I give the list, and in no time, I get the answer. Our sisters in Armenia, the last project we had was in honor of our dear priest Asadur, Brother Asadur. George called me up and said, you know, I want to do something for Brother Asadur. What do you need? But all of you sitting here, you cannot imagine what it means to give without being solicited. So, please be generous because SOAR is doing a great, great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your beautiful words, Mother Arusia. I would now like to welcome our Master of Ceremonies, Mark Geragos.
Mother, what I'd like to tell you is when you say something and you don't want it to be on the record, you just say, strike that from the record. By the way, how did I get to be Master of Ceremonies and you do all the work? Pretty good. You know, I watched a movie on the way here today and it reminded me, it was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and which I love. And it was about Albert Brooks, who's a filmmaker and a comedian, and he throws a funeral for himself while he's still alive. And it's a very entertaining episode, and then at the end all hell breaks loose because he's a COVID hoarder or something. And it reminds me of this evening. I feel like George is throwing a funeral and he's still alive. So let's give a hand to George. We will look at this. I'm not going to speak for a long time. I was warned and always am, and I charge by the hour. I will say that we're in a very perilous time as Armenians and Armenia itself. We're facing, and I don't think this is over-dramatizing it, I think we're facing an existential threat. Everybody in this room is aware of the challenges in Artsakh and the 44-day war, which got zero attention and was a devastating thing. Within the last 5 days, 10 days actually, the Azeris have shut off gas to that area. And there is no hot water, there's no gas. They're trying to freeze people out of there. They took over villages as recently as yesterday in an invasion. And all the while, the world is focused, laser focused on Ukraine and Russia. And as Armenians, you can't help but feel conflicted on a number of levels. There's the level of why. I think everybody in this room has probably asked themselves, why is it that the world is so focused on Ukraine? Rightfully so, but that was not focused on the 44-day war. Why is the world focused on maternity wards that are blasted in Ukraine, which is frankly a war crime, but nobody said anything as mothers were being slaughtered and children were being slaughtered and innocent civilians were being slaughtered. There's also the idea of, and I'll say something that may not be too politically popular, but for those of you who don't know, Azerbaijan trained, guess where? They trained in the Ukrainian with the Ukrainian military. Ukraine is one of their biggest supporters. Ukraine was the one who supplied Azerbaijan, along with Turkey, of most of the weapons that are doing the destruction that is causing the expansion of orphans and devastation to the civilian population. It's not a pretty story. It's a complex world, and frankly, up until the time when in Azerbaijan they shot down the Russian fighter jet and Putin intervened, that was the first time that there was a cessation of the hostilities. Can't help but be conflicted on many different levels from the humanitarian standpoint, from the fact that the day before, February 24th, the day before the invasion, Aliyev, who orchestrated and was the architect and was the dictator and frankly another war criminal who invaded Artsakh, he flew to Russia, signed a trilateral pact with Russia the day before the invasion, so that Putin could forestall any kind of Azerbaijani influence in that invasion. All of these things, and the reason I bring it up is, one of the things that's always attracted myself to SOAR and the other organization I always mention, which is Armenian Bone Marrow, both were started by, were kind of grassroots organizations. Armenian Bone Marrow by Dr. Jordan, SOAR by George, helped by Rocky. The things that are great about these is that they bubbled up from the grassroots. The organization started. They weren't part of a party. They weren't part of one individual church. They weren't part of a splinter of organizations. What they were Armenians who saw something that they just couldn't stand by and watch. It was tragedies, calamities, humanitarian disasters, and people did something so that there wouldn't be a disaster on our watch. And what's happening in Armenia is on our watch. We're part of the diaspora. We have been vilified as a diaspora. We have been, frankly, attacked. We're presently, by my calculations, in the diaspora, the Turks and the Azerbaijan, who are hiring places like Mercury Public Affairs, other kinds of organizations, are spending tens, if not hundreds of millions here in the U.S. to foreclose our efforts to get the government to do anything. Jackie Spear, who's a congresswoman who I know from California, talked about the, I think, $45 million for Armenia. You know, contrast that with the $100 million in military assistance that went to Azerbaijan. Contrast that with the pittance that has gone to Artsakh. And I bring that up not to slam the politicians, but to illustrate a point. And the point is, if the diaspora does not step up, if the diaspora does not support Armenia. We have nobody but ourselves to blame if Armenia no longer or ceases to exist. We're the ones who become the backbone. We haven't told our story. We haven't told our message in any way, shape, or form the way we probably should. I amongst us. I'm not blaming anybody here, but the idea that we are the first Christian nation, a nascent democracy, who exist in a sea of hostility, and we've been able to thrive throughout all of these challenges and have organizations like this that do God's work literally, is a story that is not told and a story that needs to be told. The financial support is not that much that the organizations like this ask for. When you think about the amount of money that helps support an orphanage, that helps support orphans, it really is a pittance compared to what the value of your house might do or what kind of impact inflation has on how much it costs you to fill up your tank of gas. And so I would urge and exhort many of you and all of you to dig deep, give to SOAR. And I'll end it with this. You know, the William Soroyan, who's from Fresno, he's a hero of mine before my mother was born. I always say, next to Watertown, Fresno was the original Glendale. And Soroyan has a famous plaque. Most Armenian males have it up in their office, I think. And it reads as follows: I should like to see any power of the world destroy this race, this small tribe of unimportant people, whose wars have all been fought and lost, whose structures have crumbled, literature is unread, music is unheard, and prayers no more answered. Go ahead, destroy Armenia, see if you can do it. Send them into the desert without bread or water, burn their homes and churches, then see if they will not laugh, sing, and pray again. For when two of them meet anywhere in the world, see if they will not create a new Armenia. I will tell you that Soroyan is probably looking down from up above, because our literature is now read. Go take a look at Chris Balajian, who is a famous novelist. Our music is listened to, and I always tease Serge Tankian and System of a Down about that, and Capital Cities. And we have not always fought and lost wars. I mean, I shared Soroyan's kind of pessimistic view about that until we won the war some 30-odd years ago in Artsakh. And we've been set back. We will persevere, we will win, because of all of you and others like you in the diaspora. And sure enough, even post-COVID, we're kind of awakening out of the COVID stupor. Here we are with more than just 2 Armenians, with 200 Armenians, creating a new Armenia. So I applaud all of you for all that you've done. I love coming here, I love being here. And I especially love when I can do the master of ceremonies and just get up and give a 10-minute talk and then turn it back over to her and let her do all the heavy lifting.
Okay, I'm back. Now we're going to get into our awards portion of the ceremony. We're going to start out, we're going to do it a little different this year since it's been several years and we didn't get to do anything in 2015. We're going to award 2020 and 2021. I'm going to start out by awarding our 2020 Volunteer of the Year Award. This goes to Suni Hagopian. Suni has undertaken many fundraising efforts in Vancouver, and she has also been the primary contact between SOAR and Baby Ida's family throughout the year and since 2020 to assist with the procurement of Zolgensma. Congratulations, Suni. Can you please come up so I can give you your award? Our next award is for the Junior Volunteer of the Year, which goes to our New York chapter. Unfortunately, they could not be here tonight, so I'm going to accept the award on their behalf. Congratulations, New York. I'm now going to award our Patrons of the Year. We have two for 2020. If you're not familiar with the Patron of the Year, it's something we started not too long ago. It's awarded to someone who really takes the time to just be there for SOAR and just volunteer and do things without being asked. They're not on the board, they're not on the chapter, but they just help and they're just there. So one of our 2020 Patron of the Year awards goes to Silvana Petrosyan. Silvana has offered significant financial support toward the procurement of Zolgensma for baby Aida. She could not be here tonight, but we congratulate her. Our next Patron of the Year for 2020 goes to Greg and Laurel Sarian. Greg and Laurel have given significant financial support to SOAR since its inception, and Greg is an integral part of the Board of Trustees. Greg, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Sarah. Laurel and I are grateful to be able to support SOAR with our time and our resources. I'd like to share why we're supporters of SOAR. SOAR's mission of helping Armenian orphans around the globe with a better life speaks to us. But it's more than that. Laurel and I are followers of Jesus Christ, and our Christian faith is the cornerstone of our lives. Because we are grateful for the forgiveness, the direction and grounding our faith provides as spouses, parents, and workers, we want to follow the teachings and model the character of Christ. Matthew chapter 25, verse 40, Jesus instructs us by saying that when we help the needy, the poor, the orphans, the least of these, we are serving Him. That's what means so much to us. So thank you to SOAR for allowing us to honor Christ with our efforts here.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Laurel. Now we will move into 2021. Our 2021 Volunteer of the Year award goes to Teddy Amin. Teddy is the chapter president for both Las Vegas and Orange County. She assumed a second chapter president position in Las Vegas after leading SOAR Orange County since 2017. Congratulations, Teddy. Please come up and accept your award. Congratulations, Teddy. We have two Junior Volunteer of the Year awards for 2021. The first is the New Jersey Junior Chapter, which will be accepted by Naira Papukian since they could not be here tonight. The final Junior Volunteer of the Year award goes to the Philadelphia Juniors. Philadelphia Juniors, I know you're here, so come on up. We have Sari Minasian, Nare Minasian, Liliana Yakubian, Sophie Yakubian, Seta Bardakjan, Tiffany Seldarian, and Tessa Yakubian. Congratulations, Philly.
Where's Sophie and Seta? There you are.
By the way, I am the parent advisor for the Philadelphia Juniors, and my predecessor was Tanya Bardakjan, so I'm very proud of these girls. Congratulations, Philly. We also have two patrons of the year for 2021. Our first patron is Var Fox, who unfortunately could not be here tonight. VAR has given significant financial support through our sponsorship fund, Families of Fallen Soldiers Relief Fund, and the Artsakh Family Restoration Fund. Congratulations, VAR. Our final Patron of the Year award goes to someone very special. It goes to George's mom, Margaret Yakubian. Mrs. Yakubian has given logistical support since 2005. She's driven trucks to Alexandria, Virginia, and New York City to drop off goods for shipment to Armenia. She has purchased and stored items needed for SOAR meetings and galas in her home. She has done creative design of auction items, and she has also given significant financial support through the Sponsorship Fund, Families of Fallen Soldiers Relief Fund, and event sponsorships.
Thank you very much for this unexpected honor. But it was my husband and my pleasure and distinct honor to do whatever little we could for this organization that we hold in deepest regard and esteem. And we're very proud of our son George for his vision and all that he has done. And I just wish you were here tonight to be part of this evening. Thank you very much. I'm very honored.
Congratulations again, Mrs. Yakubian. We're at the final portion of our program where we would like to do some dedications. Our first dedication is to the Ardash Yerganyan Prisoners of War Fund. This is in honor of Var Fox's father who passed away. This was created in honor of him. Unfortunately, again, Var could not be here, but we congratulate him. We have a couple surprise dedications that are not in the program. The first one is for the Our Lady of Armenia Center. I actually stopped Mother Alusia from speaking because this is a surprise tonight and I wanted to do this dedication. Father Asadur, back when George found out that you wanted to be ordained a priest, he wanted to do something special for you on behalf of SOAR. So, the kitchen at Our Lady of Armenia needed to be renovated, and that renovation has been done on your behalf. I'd like to read what it says. Kitchen renovation funded by the Society for Orphaned Armenian Relief and the Harold and Josephine Gulamarian Armenian Orphan Fund in honor of Reverend Father Asadur Minasyan's Catholic ordination. Congratulations, Asadur. Please come on.
Honestly, as a priest, I'm telling you, I had no idea. I don't have something ready for this. Thank you. Yeah, the day George called me, in 2005, when he said, we started this organization, I didn't even hesitate. I said yes. Immediately. This is something that stuck to me. And wow, sermons are easier. I will say I'm honored. I'm truly honored. George, I'm going to get you back. This is a great honor. Just going back to what I was saying, when he asked me, I was, again, the word honor is the key here, to be on the team, shall we say. This team really grew very quickly and it was very strong, and we did what we had to do. We started out in a small, tiny hall, and look where we are now. But I do want to add one thing to all the chapters who have done a phenomenal job. You guys are amazing. The amount of work you put into this organization and trying to get help for our orphans, it's fascinating. And I will say that 2016 was my first time going to Armenia. And let me tell you, if you really want to feel it, go see an orphan. No joke. Because yes, for all those years, for 11 years at that time, I was doing what I was doing. But when I saw the orphans, I fell in love with them. They came up to me, they hugged me. I felt like they've known me forever. So thank you to all of you who have contributed, have supported SOAR. And if you ever go to Armenia, just stop by one of the orphanages. You'll be amazed, and you will fall in love with it like I did. Thank you so much. I was not expecting this, and I'm so honored. Thank you.
Congratulations, us. Oh gosh, I can call you on Father Asad. I knew I was going to do that. Our final dedication is also an extremely special one. George purchased a transitional center, which is due to be opened in June of 2022. This transitional center has been dedicated to Popken and Anahid Mugurian. absolute honor and privilege to do this dedication. Tanya, Terces, Galo, Annette, Seta, if you could please come up here. As you can see on the screen, it says the Papien and Anahid Bagurian Transitional Center, owned and managed by the Society for Orphaned Armenian Relief. It will be dedicated in June of 2022 alongside of the Special Olympics in Armenia.
For those of you who don't know, my parents are pillars of the Armenian community in every way. My father was by George's side, accepted to serve on the first board of trustees. And my father suffered from a long illness. And George, we will never forget, he would come and read the Armenian newspaper for my father, who could no longer do it for himself. And he would get my father's opinion and talk to him about things that my father could no longer understand. He treated him with respect and with dignity and gave back so much for all those years that my father had given to all of us here and in Armenia. And my mom just recently passed, so this is very emotional for all of us. I've served on the executive board with George since the inception. There is nothing more profound than giving back. Me, my brother, my husband, my sister-in-law, all of our children, and my brother in Florida, we live to serve. We live to serve all humanity. We live to serve the Armenians, no matter where their paths might cross. We're very proud to live our parents' legacy. George, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for recognizing all they have done, and we promise to make them proud for you, for them, and for all of Armenia.
That was beautiful, Tanya. Thank you so much. Just have one more gift I would like to give. Mark, if you could please come up. We have a gift for you that we'd like to give to you.
Master of Ceremonies, Mark.
I only get 12 celebratory ones a year, so I'll be sure to celebrate. And I want to thank you for doing all the heavy lifting as the mistress of ceremonies. I'm very proud of you. I've been very impressed, and that was a very heartfelt speech. You can tell coming from the heart. And I guess I would echo that and just say there is no, as you get on in years, you realize that there is no better feeling than giving back. And I want to thank all of you because you clearly are doing not only giving back to this community, your community, and their community. So a round of applause for all of you.
One last, not award, but celebration. Mother Arusia, could you please come back up to the stage? We would like to celebrate you for your birthday.
I never celebrated my birthday alone. put the children around me. And since I don't have them, I have you.
Can we all sing happy birthday?
Make a wish!
No candles.
There you go.
Happy, happy birthday, Mother. I will see out many, many more. I want to thank you all so much for allowing me to be up here to speak on behalf of George. Now it's time for Eddie Barbarian and his band.
I congratulate you guys for being a part of this beautiful mission, and let's turn this beautiful evening after the speeches and all the wisdom that we heard into a big party.